Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the San Bernardino City Unified School District Regular Personnel Commission meeting. The meeting will now come to order at 5:30 p.m. And if I could ask Mr. Salazar to lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Okay, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic, which is the nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Salazar. I appreciate that. I'm going to take the roll. Ms. Dixon, I'm here. Mr. Salazar?
Here.
Mr. Bond?
I'm here.
Ms. Irma Garcia?
Here.
Mrs. Tamara Booker?
Here.
And Mrs. Nursey Garcia? She's here. I see her. I move to approve the agenda as submitted.
A second.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. A call for the vote. Mr. Salazar?
Aye.
Mr. Bond?
Aye.
And Ms. Dixon, aye. Motion carries. Move to approve the minutes from the February 4th, 2020 regular Personnel Commission meeting as submitted. I need a second.
A second.
Mr. Bond seconds. Any discussion? Seeing or hearing none, call for the vote. Mr. Bond?
Aye.
Mr. Salazar?
Aye.
And Ms. Dixon, aye. Motion carries. My understanding, there's no public comment at this time. There is a comment when we get to action item D2, and we'll allow the public to comment on those items. And Ms. Cruz, is that correct? Is that what you're here for? You can just shake your head. No, that's not what you're here for. Do you have a public comment?
Not specific, but if you would like me to make comments about CSE8, I can. I just came as a CSE8 representative.
Would you okay, let me read the public comments and then I'll let you make a comment. So public comments pertaining to non-agenda items, members of the public may address the Personnel Commission on items not listed on the agenda. The Brown Act restricts the commissioner to non-agenda topics to clarifying questions, brief announcements, brief report of personnel-related activities, or to refer the matter to staff. If members of the public would like to contact the Personnel Commission about this upcoming agenda, please send an email to Nursey Garcia prior to the start of the Personnel Commission meeting. These comments will be shared with the Personnel Commission. If you wish for your written comment to be read out loud, please indicate this specifically in your communications. Requests for written comments to be read out loud will be honored, subject to the Personnel Commission limits on public comments. Okay, Ms. Cruz, if you'd like to speak.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hello, everyone. My name is Lourdes Cruz, labor rep for CSEA. And thank you so much for the invitation, Irma and Nursey. I appreciate it. So just an update about CSEA. We're working with the district right now. We just finished our return to work MOU that has to do with COVID-19. So we're really pleased with that, and just some issues that we're working with the district regarding the discipline when it comes to Personnel Commission and just making sure that they follow progressive discipline. But I'll keep the commissioners more informed as we continue to move forward with trying to clarify and iron in some of those issues that we have with the district when it comes to specific Personnel Commission discipline and progressive discipline. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. You're more than welcome to come back anytime. Okay, we'll move on to item C, consent action items. All matters listed under consent action items are to be considered for ratification and will be enacted by one motion followed by a roll call vote. There will be no separate discussion for these items unless the commission, audience, or staff request specific items to be removed from the consent item for separate action. Are there any items to be removed from the consent actions? Seeing none or hearing none, I move to approve the consent action items as submitted.
I'll second.
Mr. Bone seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none or hearing none, call for the vote. Mr. Bond?
Aye.
Mr. Salazar?
Aye.
Ms. Dixon, aye. Motion carries. Okay, there is. Okay, nothing. Okay. We'll move on to action item D. The commission shall discuss the following recommendation items will be voted on separately. It is recommended that the commission set a public hearing date for the proposed personnel commission budget for 2021-22. I need a motion. I motion. I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, so we're gonna open it up for discussion. So when we would like to set the date, Ms. Garcia, do you have any recommendations, suggestions?
So my recommendation would be to schedule it for the next Personnel Commission meeting, which is scheduled for April 1st. It'll be included on the agenda as a first reading, and then we'll bring it back in May for final.
Any objection to that? Any of the commissioners? That sound okay? That sound okay? So
Sounds okay.
Okay. So now I'm gonna reread it and then we can vote on it. So it's recommended that the commission set a public hearing date for the proposed personnel commission budget for 21-22 on April 1st at 5:30 p.m. at the Personnel Commission. It says office, but it'll probably be virtual next month, I would think. So we've had our discussion. A call for the vote. Mr. Bond?
Aye.
Mr. Salazar?
Aye.
And Ms. Dixon, aye. Motion carries. Action item 2, reclassification study of school police clerk. Based on a detailed job analysis, it is not recommended to reclassify the current incumbents as the duties being performed fall within the scope of the classification. I move.
I'll second.
Yeah, Mr. Salazar second. I'm going to open it up for discussion because we asked staff to look into some, or ask staff for additional information and to look at some other departments. So Mrs. Garcia, if you can let us know what you found.
Thank you, Ms. Dixon. Yes, so for the request of the commission during the February 4th meeting, staff did additional research pertaining to the salary comparison of our school police clerk classification. And like mentioned before, it is not very commonly found classification in other school districts' police department. And so we did reach out to other school districts who share the police department. And what we found was that many of the classifications are set up as a hybrid, or the duties are shared among other, employees within the school district police department with their agency. So we met with Ms. Lourdes Cruz as requested, and regarding this reclassification request. I didn't hear back with regards to any additional information that she may have discovered. Just to recap what a reclassification is and what it does, it's per the ed code and PC rules. The basis of a reclassification shall be a gradual accretion of duties over a period of 2 years. And so areas that are not taken into consideration are volume of work or employees' performance. So we look at simply the classification and the essential functions. During our meeting with the incumbents, it was specifically indicated that there had not been any changes to their position since the last reclass study in 2016. So we also verified the salary question raised by Ms. Cruz regarding Valverde's position. So that school district has two salary schedules. One is designated as classic if hired prior of 2013, and the other was designated as new if hired post 2013. And so the difference between the two is related to CalPERS, the retirement system. The salary information that was shared at our last Personnel Commission meeting was based on the new salary schedule on their website with Valverde. So we considered how much a newly hired employee would make coming into the position as a brand new employee to the district. Additionally, Valverde School Police Department is fairly new. So I believe it was established in 2017. So there would not have been any employees prior to 2013. So, which is why it makes more sense to use the new salary schedule on the website. So another question that was brought up our last meeting was that the salary had not been adjusted since 2005. And we've had several salary increases since. Salary ranges do not change. So they're the placement on a salary schedule. So hourly amounts do change with the annual increases, if any, and it's applied across the board. So the school police classification in our school district is a position assigned to the district's police department, and it's specialized to that department. You won't find that position anywhere else in our school district but that department. It is not an entry level position, and it is higher than the clerk 1, clerk 2, and the senior clerk. And this is kind of a recap from our last meeting. The district's police department is post certified. The classification is not. So you would have, for example, a police officer who are required to be post certified. And also you can find our public safety dispatchers who are also required to have post certification with a dispatcher course. And so our school police clerks do not have such special requirement. So when a recruitment is flown for our school police clerk, it is stated on the job posting that there is an extensive background conducted. So it's not news or anything like that. So they're fully aware from the job posting that there is an extensive background coming into that department. Mr. Shane Dishman was correct. The duties are not assigned to any other district clerical employee. The duties are performed by our school police clerks who have been properly vetted. And so only the employees that perform such functions have been through the extensive background with the department. The job description was revised in 2012 and no additional changes have taken place since. I know that there has been misunderstanding with that, and we've tried to meet and clarify some discrepancies, but it has not changed since the last approved job description in 2012. And so with the additional research that we did, we reached out to several other school districts. We sent multiple emails regarding their classifications, their school police department. And unfortunately, we weren't able to match our school police clerk with anybody. The school district that we can best match our position was Valverde, but we usually base any adjustments or anything like that on a compilation of data. So not just one school district. That is great. We can find one to compare it to. However, it would have to be a compilation of data. And with Valverde, it was just not possible to do it with that school district. So our results of the study remain staff is not recommending a reclassification for our school police clerks.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Mr. Dishman, if you can unmute yourself. Saw your hand was.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I I showed up again. So here I am. Let me tell you that Oni Jimenez does have post certification, and she has the certificates to actually prove that. I believe the intent was to look out even beyond school districts and look at police department clerks to get a better understanding of what the salary ranges are and their positions and responsibilities. I do believe that there needs to be further investigation in this beyond a decision tonight. This is a role and responsibility, especially when, we'll just take into one consideration, because I was dealing with it today, just, access, availability, and looking at CLETS and the computer system, basically controlled by the FBI and the roles and responsibilities. Any of those faulty, checks or responsibilities that aren't handled appropriately, which she is certified to be able to look into, could result in, if it's done inappropriately, could result in her termination and her arrest. That's just one aspect of the job, which would never come under the purview of a clerk 1, clerk 2, or clerk 3. This needs to be thoroughly vetted and investigated beyond what's done here, because I'd like to see actually the locations that were used as an example, and that at least because I do believe Valeria, you had commented the same thing on that night, that you had the experience and knowledge of this, and that they should expand their checks beyond school districts. So I asked the commission to look into this further for the 2 employees that are currently in this role, having this responsibility. It is a position that is different and needs reclassification. So I appreciate the time and effort. Thank you, each and every one of you, for the jobs that you do. Thank you.
Okay, let me clarify. I asked staff to look at additional school districts, not police departments. So I do want to clarify that. And from our backup material, there were additional school police departments that they looked at. So I just want to clarify that. Any other discussion from the other commissioners before we take a vote?
None here, Madam Chair.
Okay, hearing none, seeing none, let's vote on this item. Mr. Salazar?
Did we move on it, Madam Chair? Did you already?
Yeah, we moved in second, and then we opened up the discussion.
Okay,
so
I vote aye.
Aye, okay. Mr. Bond?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I don't need to vote. The motion carries. Let's move on to item E. The next Personnel Commission meeting will be held on April 1st, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. at teleconference. Item number F, comments from Personnel Commission. Mr. Bond, do you have any comments?
No, except that I appreciate the extra work that the director and staff has done in trying to come to a just conclusion on the school police officer's clerk position.
Thank you. I'm sure they appreciate that. Mr. Salazar, you have any comments?
Just briefly, I would like to echo what Mr. Bond said as well. Thank you for the extra work on that project. And just in general, want to thank all the staff for all the hard work they do. And of course, welcome our visitors, especially Lourdes and Shane. So thanks for being here. And that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any comments tonight, so we'll move on to a closed session. The commission adjourned to closed session at 5:50. We will not be reporting out. I want to thank everyone who tuned in to our meeting, and you guys stay safe, wash your hands, wear your mask, get a vaccine if you choose to do so. All right, folks, I'll see you on the other side in the closed session. Thank you very much.
Okay.